Welcome back. All right, so today I want to get into some makeup that's going to be good for going back to school, and not really only going back to school. You can do this for going to work or for days where you just want quick makeup to get out the door. The point is that I know we're in the part of the year where everyone is getting ready to go back to school, and these days, let's face it, there are so many high school kids that are using makeup more and more. There are even junior high school kids that are using makeup more and more. I personally did not grow up wearing makeup so young, so it's, it's a shock to me, I guess, to see how many kids, now are so much into makeup. I just want to show that there's a quick, light way to do makeup. So I'm going to start off with a quick, easy application of mainly just the basics to show how you can get yourself fresh faced and ready to be out the door. And then for those who just need a little more coverage, I'll, go into that and add a little more and build up more, just to show you the, variations of it that you can still do quickly enough to get out the door and make it to school on time, or something that you can do if you just want something for work. Now, the only thing that I have on my face right now, I have a fresh, clean face, and I have my moisturizer on. I don't have anything else right now on my face. My most important tip to you that I can say right now is always focus on your skincare if you can. Even if you can only do the most basic needs of skincare, try to do as much as you can with taking care of your skin, because the less you have to work on fixing or covering up or anything else like that will make this process a lot shorter and a lot easier. But moving along, for anybody who does need a little bit of coverage, I'll show you spot concealing and things like that. So now, I've said it many times before, but I don't really use primer. I don't really feel like, for me personally, primer makes a huge difference. I've tried many different primers from high end to low end, and I don't feel like they make a huge difference in my makeup. However, I do feel like primer comes in handy for days and times like this, where I'm not going to be putting on a foundation right now, but I need something for my makeup to stick to. So I'm going to be using the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Primer Water, and I'm going to be using all drugstore products right now, because I want you to see that not only can you do this quick and easy, but you can do it really affordably as well. So here we go. I'm just going to spray primer water, pat that into my skin, give that a couple seconds to just kind of set in there. And then quickly, all I'm going to do is start spot concealing. So I'm going to be using the LA Girl Pro Conceal High HD High Definition Concealer. Try to find the one that's closest to your skin tone, so when you do the spot concealing, it's not so obvious. I like this one. I think I picked a pretty good color. It's hard because right now I'm still in the middle of a tan here. So start off as light as you possibly can. So I know that looks like I have nothing, but trust me, we'll work on it. So start off as light as you possibly can. Just go along that arc right there where your dark circles are, and then begin to pat that out, because as you pat it out, you will spread the product and you realize that you won't need as much as you thought. Can you already see the difference between this one having lightly patted that out compared to the other side where it's still dark here? So just putting that one stripe there and then patting it out as needed, and then go a little lower just to make sure you kind of blend it, and then whatever's left on your finger, I like to sweep across. You're not going to get the most coverage doing this, but it's mainly just to kind of clean off my finger, and then use whatever's left of the product on there just to get it, whatever I can, onto my eyelid. And then do the same thing on this side. Just get a stripe going wherever you feel like you'll need that coverage, and then blend that out as well. And I may have to add a little on this side. Just a little more, I think, right here where it looks a little more blue. Go. Now my skin is on the drier side, so I don't feel like I need to set this concealer, because I think it sits really well without being set. However, if it's comfortable for you, then go ahead and set it. That's not a problem. Alright, so at this point, what I like to do is, just because the primers tend to give just a little bit of a sticky base to the skin, if you have any of these powders like this, any face powder you have will work. Just try to make sure it's closer to your skin tone. So I'm going to go in with the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder in the color medium. I'm going to open that up, tap just a little bit into the top there, take a huge powder brush like this, sweep it in, tap off the excess, and then just kind of quickly sweep over my face, sweep over where I put that concealer under, and go over. So the good thing about this is, one, it'll help take away any of the tackiness from that primer, just so that any powders you put over your skin at this point will blend right in and not be streaky or anything. And twofold, here we go. So now I know I have a spot right here on my chin, not huge, not crazy, but it does stick out a bit. Even though I already powdered my face, I can still go right over that, sweep what I need to cover that sucker up, and then still tap it out, and the powder would not have affected it at all. And if I still want to just tap a little bit more over, we can, and we're good to go. Now, as far as bronzer goes, I'm going to be using the Rimmel Natural Bronzer. It's a waterproof bronzing powder. I've never tested this one on the water, that's why the air quotes, but waterproof bronzer. So we're going to open it up. It looks like in the pan like there's a little bit of shimmer there. Don't let that throw you off. It looks that way, but it doesn't come off on the face. So you're just going to brush through that lightly, tap off any excess, and then just go into bronzing the areas you normally would. And you're not going to highly focus on any area. You're just going to go in and give some color to your face and sweep it over as quickly as possible. Just because you want to add a little bit of that color and give yourself a little something. Again, just quickly, you just trying to make it so that your face looks more alive, more awake. Do a quick little contour right there, a little bit, not much, a little something that says, hey, I have cheekbones here. Around the side, sweep over your whole face, under your chin, put that sucker down. Grab any brush that you love. Any brush, did I say that? Any brush? Grab any blush that you love and get that on out here. And if I could get my blush, we'll be good to go. And I'm going to be using the Maybelline Fit Me blush in the color Deep Wine. Just tap it in there. Any blush brush that you like, get it in. Get that color on your face. And that just gives a nice flush to the cheeks. So not too corally or orange like those summer colors that were just beautiful and brought warmth. Here you get a nice flush, almost wind-kissed flush going on there, which I like, but you know, whatever your personal preference is in color. Close that up. Now, as far as brows, I'm going to be using the e.l.f. brow pencil. L'Oreal has a really great one. CoverGirl has a really great one. There are a lot of great drugstore options. I just went with the absolute cheapest one I could find that is a really good brow brush. Now, to keep this as simple as possible, I just like to brush down the tail ends of my brows. And then this way you can just focus on the natural brow line and just follow that. And my main focus is just getting that tail that I don't normally have. Once I draw that out, I brush everything else back, brush it in place, and this gives me a more precise, already done looking brow, and I haven't even done much yet. And then after that, I'll just brush in and kind of fill in any sparse areas that I have, because my brows are pretty thick and full, but there are just areas that look kind of sparse for whatever reason. Don't know what that's about, but it's there, so you know, we'll take care of it. And then boom, for me, brows are done. Do the same thing to the other side. Sweep that out to a tail that I don't see normally. Brush the rest of the hairs in place. Fill in. And on days like this, I don't really worry too much about, oh, my brows have to look perfect or have to look like twins or anything. Like, no, we just need to get the stuff on our faces. All right, So at this point, I'm going to be going in. Highlighter is optional. That's all up to you. Personally, I do like to use highlighter on the regular because I just find that, you know, a little hint of something looks nice. It doesn't have to be crazy. And in this moment, I like to use the Essence Pure Nude. It's such a gorgeous highlighter because it gives a little something to the face without being super, super strong. So we'll just go in and put a little something there. So it catches the light. It's very soft. It doesn't look crazy. It adds a little something. Like I said, highlight optional, up to you. I just like it, and I especially like the Essence Pure Nude in times like this. Add a little up here. Sometimes just brushing a little at the tops of your brow bone will help you get there. And you're done with that. Now we'll go in, grab a mascara, any mascara that you like. Right now I just grabbed the Maybelline Total Temptations mascara. It was right in front of me, and I like this mascara a lot. Actually, it smells really good, and it does make your lashes look great. I like it. Now lashes I can get caught up in for a long time. I get so hyper focused on them that lashes could always take me longer than brows sometimes. So you gotta kind of remind yourself that you're not. See, so overall you kind of just look more awake, more put together, and just like, you know, you're kind of ready to face the world instead of looking a little bit like The Walking Dead. But in case you do need a little bit more coverage and you kind of want to see a way to get through that routine pretty quickly, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to take most of this off of my face now, and then I'll come back and I'll show you how quickly you can get through that too. Okay, so I removed everything from my face except for what I did to the brows and the mascara because that doesn't really change. Today I'm going to go with the Rimmel because that is the closest to my color right now, and I would also recommend putting them on with a brush. Again, just so you don't have to go through the hassle of wetting your sponge and, you know, then running back to wherever you do your makeup. If you still want to use a sponge, totally up to you. I for one prefer sponges myself, but again, when you're trying to do something quick, fast, and simple, and you really don't have the time to waste, brushes get the job done equally as well. Lately, the Luxie Precision Foundation Brush has been my absolute favorite one to use for foundation, but since we're keeping it drugstore, I'm going to be using the Wet n Wild foundation brush, which is also one of my favorite brushes. So go ahead and take your little doe foot, apply that wherever you need your foundation to be, and then just go ahead and with your brush and go to town. See, it happens very quickly. Now, if you need to build up another layer, then go ahead and feel free to do so. Again, as far as you're, you know, working with the brush and the doe foot applicator, overall, those two things really make this so much quicker and easier anyway. Go ahead and get that on. Time, taking the concealer, same deal, squeeze out a bit, and then just go ahead, only fill in that dark area and then tap out. And exact same routine as last time. Brush, bronzer. Once again, grabbing the blush. Highlight time. Or, if it's your preference, skip highlight altogether. Never took it off, but you know, hit that anyway. Now, this foundation I feel like sets pretty well on its own, so I don't think you really need a powder to go over it or anything. If you feel like the bare eyes are a little bit too bare for you, the only thing I would recommend, which I'm pretty sure you've already heard dozens and millions and billions of times before, take a fluffy brush, take your bronzer, swirl that sucker in there, and go ahead and swirl this on your eyes, mostly concentrating that on the outer corner and then sweeping it into the crease. This will give you just a nice wash of color on the eyes, a little something that says, once again, hey, I tried. And again, you've already got that mascara on, but if you didn't, this is the point that you would sweep that on. And now that you actually have a color on the eyes, what you would want to do is grab a nice pointed precision brush. If I could find one, that would be fantastic. What did I do with that brush? Try to have your tools out in front of you, but grab a precision brush, get all up in your highlight, and then just sweep that on the inner corner. So now that you have that wash of color there, this helps bring, boom, a little bit more light to the eyes. Sometimes I would even go in with a different highlight that was a little bit brighter just to kind of really make it pop, but that's totally up to you. Again, you can go in with that same gloss and keep it nude and neutral. If you want, there are other glosses you have. This is the Rimmel Stay Satin. This color is scrunchy. God, this color is gorgeous. Look at this. Is that not like a neon melon? And boom. Once again, you look like you're ready to go. Take that setting spray, make it dewy. I like setting spray. Let that sucker dry while you are running out the door, and you are good to go. So I did this in real time because I wanted you to see how long each step actually took. Now keep in mind, it did take me a little bit longer because I had to explain each step as I was doing it. But once you do this over and over, once you have all your products in front of you and you know what you're going to be reaching for over and over again, this gets a lot quicker and it gets a lot easier. So I really hope that this was helpful for anyone, again, going back to school, anyone in high school, anyone in college, anyone going to work, that this was something that could help you see that what you really could accomplish in a limited amount of time. If you have any further questions about anything, then please feel free to ask them down below. I'll be more than happy to answer them for you. This is all that I have for you today in this video. If you haven't already, please comment, rate, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. You all have an amazing rest of the weekend wherever you are, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.